Arsenal beat Everton 1-0 at a new stadium, our first win there. Now we've won at all the stadiums that are represented in the Premier League this season. Wow, Waka, welcome back to another match reaction. This is a late one. The match ended at around 11 here in the Netherlands. I had to wake up for work at 4 in the morning. So after the match, I went straight to bed. And now I finished my job for the day. So I'm here recording this video. Gonna watch the women after this. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. When it comes to the match, again, another match where we don't really impress, but it was better than the Wolves game. It's a 1-0 win because of a penalty, so we didn't really score a nice goal from open play or whatever. The penalty also was a weird one. I don't know what sport the guy thought he was playing. I feel like he already got away with it a little bit before that corner and the handball because Gyökeres had a tap in at the far post and the guy put his hands on Gyökeres. Gyökeres went down and that could have been a penalty. I don't really know if it should have been one because I also feel like Gyökeres went down too easy. Feel like in that situation you need to be strong. Just brace yourself for any contact and just tap the ball into the back of the net. He didn't really brace himself for anything. He just felt a touch in his back, went down. I feel like if it was on the other side and Saliba had put his hands on someone, that slight, and it would have been a penalty. We all would have been outraged because everybody would be against us and everything. Some things are just too soft to give a penalty, and I feel like that one was just about soft enough not to give that penalty. It did result in a corner, and the corner resulted into him making another mistake because you can already say putting your hands on on a striker that that's a tap in is a bit of a mistake. Now he just jumps into the air. He feels like he's fouled, I think, and he just puts his hands up. He he just hits the ball. At first, I thought Calafiori just mishit the header, and then I saw the replay. I was like, okay, now I understand why Calafiori didn't even head it towards goal. He couldn't get his head on it. It was a volleyball setup from the Everton guy, penalty, and I feel like just like the other Arsenal fans, I was wondering who was going to take it. Obviously, you have the usual thing with Odegaard picking the ball up and holding it while all the far replays and all the stuff were going on. But we knew he was gonna give it to someone else because he generally does. Would it be Saka? Would it be Gyökeres? Last time they were both on the pitch and there was a penalty, it was Saka who took the penalty. This time it's Gyökeres, and after definitely the last week of him being criticized left, right, and center, it's a big task stepping up for a penalty. 0-0. So far into the game, we weren't that amazing. We were getting control over the game at that point, but we didn't really create too much. We weren't fluid or anything. So it's a big ask to just step up for a penalty, 0-0. Also with Pickford being in goal, who is known as a goalie who can save some penalties. So for Gyökeres to step up and just emphatically hit it home, I was like, wow, the power on that shot. That's what I want to see on a penalty. Hit it on target, hit it with venom, and it's in the back of the net. Great from Gyökeres. He gets his moment. After the goal, I feel like Arsenal did become better. We weren't really cutting Everton open because in the first half, I really feel like we were too slow. It was just like in the past couple of seasons where it was the horseshoe formation, a lot of passing around, a lot of sideways, back, back. A lot of balls went to Raya. The central defenders had the ball a lot of the time, and that's not what you want to see. So that really annoyed me. In the second half, they came out trying to do more. They really didn't danger us or threaten us at any moment in the match. If I'm correct, the stats are 2 shots and 0 on target, so it wasn't like they were making it really difficult for us. But their play was there was more intensity behind it. They were trying at least. Then we kind of took over again. I mean, when it comes to this match, we had the better chances, obviously, with him not even having a shot on target. But we had two balls hitting the post with Trossard. Oh man, that chance was such a huge chance. It was a nice attack. Declan Rice, I was like, come on, give it to Gyökeres. He didn't choose to play it to Gyökeres. He saw Trossard on the left with acres of space. And normally you would bet on Trossard scoring that. He tried to put it into the corner. It hits the post, and it's still 1-0. And I was like, nah, come on, Trossard. Don't let it be that kind of match, man. That's a position where you need to score. He didn't. It was really unfortunate. Zubimendi also hit the post. That one was a lot more difficult because it was a layoff. He came in. Grealish also went for the ball with a tackle. So Zubimendi couldn't really get a clean hit on it. He had to just rush it, try to get a shot on target. It was already good from him to get it onto the post. Unfortunately, the wrong side, not inside of the post, going into the goal or whatever, just hitting the post and then ricocheting away. Other than that, we did have moments that could have been more dangerous, but most of the game we were either too slow, we made the wrong decisions. Because there were a couple of moments where Gyökeres could have been played in. There were moments where players were in each other's way. I mean, Saka and Timber were in each other's way, and it was just not an amazing game from that side of it. Defensively, we were fairly solid. It wasn't as dominant as we can be. Even with Gabriel out, we could have been a lot more dominant, but we weren't. At least we limited them to just 2 shots and not even one on target. Raya was coming out a lot to just get all the floated crosses out of the air. So he was really dominant in his box. He was great with his feet. Maybe a couple of things here and there. I mean, the ball to I think it was Nkapie that just went straight out to for a throw in where it's like, ah, come on. But I don't feel like he should have been on the ball that much. That's kind of it when it comes to just the general game. I do want to talk about just how we are playing in the last couple of weeks. Because I do feel like the Bayern game was probably the last impressive Arsenal game. And I feel like ever since our captain Odegaard has come back from his injury, our play has been suffering a bit. The problem with Odegaard is he just takes just a little bit too much time on the ball. and I want him to release the ball earlier. I just want him to get the ball, turn, pass it either to Saka, to Gyökeres, to Trossard or Martinelli on the left wing, or even Calafiori. But at least just quicker, just release, turn, release, or even drop a shoulder yourself and then drive forward. But he doesn't do that. Also, his positioning is kind of hurting the whole flow of the team. When Eze is playing in the 10 with either Gyökeres as a striker or Marino as a false 9, Eze is always high up on the pitch. He's either in the striker position when Marino is the false 9, or he's just right behind the area that Gyökeres leaves because he is occupying the defenders. And when he gets the ball from there, he should he should do better than he has been doing so far. But at least he is in that position and he can try and affect the game in the attacking sense. And also that means that Rice and Zubamendi are a lot deeper and they can just build up the play, they can dictate it. And I feel like that flow for Arsenal is better than with Odegaard because when Odegaard plays, he drops really deep. Zubamendi and Rice are higher up. Timber is also a lot higher up. And a, our guy who should be creative is all the way either in the sixth role or even sometimes next to our central defenders. And he progresses the play to our more defensive midfielders. And from there, we have to try and build up. But that's kind of backwards. What I like about when Eze is playing in the 10 and when Zubamendi and Rice are generally deeper, what happens is when the ball goes forward to either Eze, Saka, or the left wing, that's when Zubamendi and Rice join in on the attack. They arrive late. But when Odegaard is playing and he is receiving the ball deep, they are already higher up. And then you can see the flaws in their play a lot more. Rice, we already know this. When Rice is in the left 8 pocket, it's not his strong suit. He can't really turn that fast and really do the Rice kind of things. He does it a lot better when he's part of that double pivot and then joins when the ball is already there. That's when he does his best work as a box to box 8 type of player, not when he has to do it on the half turn. So I feel like that's really where Arsenal has been suffering for the last couple of weeks. When it comes to our striker Gyökeres, I feel like if some of the players, because I saw Rice, I saw Timber a couple of times, I saw Odegaard a couple of times, not just do that quick pass into Gyökeres into space when he makes that run. No, they're holding the ball, and he gets a lot of the balls when he has to hold off the defender, and that's not his strong suit. We already know this. He needs to work on that part. Yes, just on the training, just tell Saliba or Nkapie, whoever, help me out here. Just have Odegaard or whoever pass him the ball with either Saliba or Nkapie behind him, and he needs to just work on how to trap the ball while fighting someone off, and then turn or either give a pass and then make the deep run. Because he needs to do a lot better on that. He had Mikalenkovic or Milenkovic, whoever, the Ukrainian defender, he had him pinned down, but then what he did with the ball was so bad that he still lost the duel and the ball to the guy. And I'm like, nah, man, you should be trapping the ball, turning, and then going off. He also did get a couple of balls, and then he was too slow to release a shot. So he needs to work on that. our team needs to work on feeding him better because the best pass he got was Saliba, our center back. That's not how it's supposed to be. But yeah, that's it for the Everton game. There were a lot of moments here and there where we could have done better. I don't feel like at the end of it, it was a really 1-0 type of match. We should have definitely scored at least one more, but maybe even 3-0 would have been a fair reflection of the match. We are on to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup against Palace. If we win against Palace, we will be up against Chelsea for the semifinals. That would be fun, but we have to get there first. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the match reaction of the Crystal Palace quarterfinal Carabao Cup game. Peace.